Hello, this is Jean Marie Ward for Buzzy Magazine. With me today is award-winning science fiction, fantasy, and romantic suspense author, Jeanne Adams. Welcome, Jeanne.
Thank you so much. I'm glad to be here.
We're thrilled to have you. Science fiction, fantasy, and romantic suspense are an interesting combination. How did you wind up publishing in such different genres?
It's really very much based on my reading taste. I read across so many genres, from horror to science fiction, from fantasy to romance, and so many of the stories that I tell are just stories that come. I don't actually pick a genre to write in per se, so across the genres.
So the story comes and then you figure out where it goes.
Kinda.
Oh, cool.
A little bit backwards.
Hey, whatever works, right? Outcast Station, the far future science fiction series you write with Nancy Northcott, is a scene of much skullduggery. How much was this influenced by your background in romantic suspense?
I love that word, skullduggery, so evocative. It was heavily influenced. I love a suspense story, and working in the far future gives you so many options for skullduggery and for different ways to pace a story, different ways to build a story. In my case, the story is built around a plague, and so that brought in a lot of science as well as fiction, and as well as the suspense element of, are we going to solve it in time?
Mm-hmm.
And so it was hugely influenced by that. Yeah, lots of fun.
Of course, you've got some rather impressive personal qualifications for death, destruction, disease. You're an expert in body disposal. How did you acquire such a useful skill?
It is quite useful. On paper, of course.
Yes.
I worked for 13 years in the funeral business, in the cemetery business. I worked as a clerk in a cemetery and was formerly married to a funeral director. So I learned all about how to get rid of the body.
Okay, yeah. Very useful skill.
And of course, he is an ex-husband, so...
We won't talk about how ex, right? Speaking of body disposal and such things.
As you do.
As you do when you're writers. What is the one thing you wish more writers and readers knew about getting rid of the evidence? Specifically, a corpse or two, maybe more.
Maybe more. Well, one of the things that you always have to know, both as a reader and a writer, is it is not like it is on TV. If you've seen Pushing Daisies, trust me, you can't drive a hearse stoned. You cannot. Also, terminology. In modern times, it's always a casket, not a coffin.
Mm-hmm.
Coffin's an 8-sided Dracula box,
Mm-hmm.
very antique. So unless you are actually Dracula or writing about Dracula, you're probably using a casket, not a coffin.
Oh, cool. I'll have to remember that. Genealogy, another interest of yours, has a surprising connection to Haven Harbor, your New England set paranormal romance series. Could you tell our viewers something about the series and your family's connection to the backstory?
I love genealogy research. It's like a very, very big puzzle, sometimes with very frustrating pieces that are missing. But the connection to the Salem witch trials, which is the origin story of the modern day set, contemporary set paranormal romance of The Witches of Haven Harbor, which the first book is The Witch's Walk. But one of the ideas for the story came from the fact that my husband's family, the Aldens, one of their members was accused of witchcraft and imprisoned. And his family chose to get a team of mules, pull the grate out of the window, and bust him out of jail. So he never actually stood trial as a witch, although he was accused. And by the time they caught up with him, the furor had died down. But that basis of him escaping actually gave me the idea of thinking, okay, so if you were actually really a witch in Salem, Massachusetts in 1600s, the 1690s, would you hang around?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm thinking no,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the basis for The Witch's Walk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would think that if you had precognition or any of the skills that they ascribed to the poor women and men who were caught up in it, you wouldn't be caught Dead?
In Salem, in 1691, yeah.
I'm glad they went somewhere. Unfortunately, we don't have time to explore all your worlds, but I understand there is something they all share. What is it, and why is it important to you?
Well, one philosophy I have personally is that love always wins. And even in the Outcastation stories, which do not have a romantic thread, friendship is a form of love, caring for other people is a form of love, and my belief is that love always wins. Mm-hmm. If you will try, if you will believe, if you will just hold on to that, you'll make it. Mm-hmm. And call me an optimist. Not only is my glass half full, I have a glass. So I believe love always wins.
We're coming up on the end of the interview, but there's something I gotta ask. What are you working on now?
Oh, I'm having so much fun. I am currently working on an origin story for the Outcastation worlds. That's huge fun. And I'm completing a novella that's connected to my Haven Harvard Witches series called Christmas at Canaan Castle. And I'm super excited about the anthology. It's going to be in with there's a historical, there's a male-male romance, there's a paranormal, there's a straight contemporary. It's just going to be a fabulous anthology, so I'm very excited about it.
Covering every aspect of the holiday.
Every aspect of the holiday at Christmas at Canaan Castle.
That's so cool. Okay, we're there at that magic moment when I get to ask you the big question. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, I hope you'll all find me on the web at www.jeanneadams.com or on Pinterest, Twitter, or Facebook.
Great. Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you, Jean Marie.
Thanks. And thank you for Buzzy Magazine.